Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop again this week. 6 comics this week. 1 I pulled off the shelf, and 5 came from my pull list. But first, of course, we'll show you the top of the printer. Museum comics of the week. We got X-Men. Hold on. I left my reading glasses over there again. There we go. Now I can read the number on the X-Men. X-Men 170. And Concrete Fragile Creature, part 2 of 4. Oh, this is the one where I think I can tell from the cover he's helping them make a movie. And this is, of course, a Paul Smith. Well, this is the Paul's week. We got Paul Chadwick on Concrete. We got Paul Smith drawing X-Men. And he inked himself on these covers. I've always considered this one kind of a classic. Storm versus, who was that? Callisto, I think was her name. Cover. And in this one I remember being interesting because it was all about how a movie gets made or doesn't get made, as the case may be. And they hired Concrete to handle some of the special effects because he could do physical special effects because he was that big, strong Concrete guy down there. But things just kept happening. Budgets just kept getting smaller. I want to reread Fragile Creatures again sometime because I haven't read it in a while. But there was 1983. This one came. This was near the end of my X-Men run. 170. I started around with the new X-Men when John Byrne came on board. Got all the Cockrum issues around that time and stuck around till 200. The Paul Smith issues I liked, but after the Paul Smith issues, it went downhill for me. But Concrete I buy. It hasn't been a new issue of Concrete in a long time, but I'd buy it if it came out. All right, let's see what I got this week. World Tree, number 13. Who's our writer? James Tynion is our writer. Art by Fernando Blanco. Colors by Jordi Belair. Letters by Aditya Bidikar. And this woman right here was the brother to one of our lead characters, and she's kind of the villain of the piece. And it was sort of, last issue was sort of her origin story. It looks like we get even more of her this issue. So we'll have to see. It flashed back to when she was a child, or 13, I think, or so. So it looks like we get more of her in this one. That'll be interesting. This is a World Tree. It's sort of a cyberpunk story about the Undernet, which is some sort of living thing underneath the internet that our heroes defeated like 20 years ago, but now it's back. So that's been fun. Then we've got, new issue, new story arc of the Power Fantasy, issue number 6. You can pick up the first story arc in a trade paperback of this these days. There's the super big indicia on the back. And this one's been good. I enjoyed the first story arc. It's Kieran Gillen and Casper Wingard. Wingard on the art. And it's the story of like super omega powered superheroes, and how they have to kind of navigate and not fight in order to not destroy the world. Because if these guys, the sort of top tier power superheroes, and if they fight, they can end up destroying a lot of stuff. So they're trying not to fight. So that's what this is about, superheroes trying not to fight. There's an interesting take. And next we have Null Hunter and Olympus Saga, the 12 Labors of Hercules cyberpunk telling. And I guess this back one is the labor. I finally figured that out 4 issues in. So whatever's going on there is the labor Hercules is doing, which, kind of reflected in this too. He's holding up something in that ancient Greek style, and here he is holding up something in that comic book style. And like I said, written by Michael Walsh, art by Gustavo Vargas, letters designed by Becca Carey, flatter Laura Dragon. Back cover illustration by Artyom Trakhanov. There's all those names for you. But this one's been fun. It's cyberpunk because some of the labors are done in cyberspace, and people jack in and jack out of cyberspace, that sort of thing. I assume it's going to be 12 issues, but we'll see. Maybe 13. Maybe they'll give us a lucky 13. But I've been enjoying it. Oh, and this one is issue 2 from Ahoy Comics of Howl. There's some alien there. And who's this by? Elisa Kwitney, Kwitney, and Morrissey is the artist. And I really liked the first issue of this. I liked the art. Let's see. The artist is from Europe. Where was he from? They had something in the last one, but I don't see it here. Oh, it looks like they have a piece. Ziva Kwitney by Elisa Kwitney. I guess a little piece about maybe her parents, because that looks like an old photo. June 59. Ziva and Bob, 1959. So maybe we get a little text piece about them. I always find that fun. But I've really liked the art in this. It takes place in New York City in the late 50s. And it's kind of so far it had a little Invasion of the Body Snatchers vibe to it. Because it's an alien invasion, but they're like these tiny little things that take over your mind. And so far no one knows they're there. The first issue was a lot of slice of life. Oh, this issue we're getting a little crazier with that. I think she was like a psychiatrist or something. So we'll see how this goes. I really enjoyed the first issue. Have no idea how many issues it's going to run. Comicsahoy.com. Okay. It looks like they had a little web address there too. But I enjoyed the first issue. Oh, what does it say down here? Extra, Remembering the Real Life Star of Howl, Self-Defense by Mallory, art by Joe Orsack. All right. Maybe that's her mother? Who knows? We'll have to see. And here's one I bought kind of just for the name. Godzilla Heist. I like heist movies. There's not a lot of heist comics. Thief of Thieves was a really good heist comic. But I've always liked heist stories. So I figured, why not story by Van Jensen, art by Kelsey Ramsey, colors by Heather Breckel, letters and design by Sandy Tanaka. There's all our credits. And I think they're using Godzilla as cover for a heist. And no heist story, rarely does the heist go according to plan. So I just figured I'd check out the first issue, see how it is. I noticed how it's like who's this? IDW with their new logo that I was talking to someone about and going, I can't see the W. The W's on the bottom. The reason it's split in half is because the ID make up the whole thing and the W is on the bottom. I don't know. Their old logo was better. But I figured I'd give it a try. Why not? See how it is. And then the last one I picked up off of the shelf. Let This One Be a Devil. It's a Dark Horse. I remember, and this is another James Tynion written book, just like World Tree. And I think what happens with this one this one has got a nice cover stock on it. And with like these Dark Horse books, sometimes I don't like the physical comic because it's so thin and. But this one actually was a $5 comic too. That's probably where I got the nice cover stock. But I flipped it open, and I was like, I don't always pre-order Dark Horse stuff because I never know if I'm gonna like it or not. I never know if I'm gonna like the physical comic or not. James Tynion and Steve Fox is the script. Peter Kowalski is the art. Brad Simpson on colors. Tom Napolitano on letters. But I flipped it open, and the art looked cool. And what did it say? It said something like, a true weird story. That's what it says up top. Maybe it's some kind of true story. There's I guess that's the flashback because it's all brown. But I liked it. I only had 5 comics. I could go for a 6th, so I put that one in my pile and bought it. Let me show you a little something what I did this week. What do we got? We got a Dreams of Things. 267 from December 30th. There's our date down there. I like this one. I like this weird face eye floating hat face thing. Pretty wild, huh? Those eyes are watching you. Those eyes are watching you. Which ones are real? Who knows? Oh, and this one I also finished this week. Another last night I dreamt I had a true love. And as is usual now, I'm given a blue version and a color version. It'll move some of this stuff off the easel. So it's like just because since I have the color one all made and it's in Adobe Illustrator, I can just change the undercolor real easily to blue, and all the shading stays. So I just figured I'd just because, like I said, I made that one all blue for its original coloring. And I kind of liked the all blue. So I'm like, you know what? I'm making an all blue version of all of them. You can pick which one you like. I couldn't decide which one I liked better. But since I did, in fact, like the all blue one, I'm making an all blue one of each of these. All right, so there you go. Some artwork, some comic books. And you all have a good week out there.